No, please stop, please stop, please stop. The girl's cries go unheard over the screaming and yelling and crashing glass. All of a sudden, her door swings open. It's her mother at the door, fear and terror in her eyes. She walks by, grabs her daughter's shoes, and goes to the window, and she opens it. She motions for her daughter to come over to the window. As she ties her shoes, she points in the distance to a light shining like a star in the night. She says, "You've got to run. You've got to go. You must get help." Then all of a sudden, the little girl hears the steps of her father fast approaching her door. The door swings open. Her father stands there, fire in his eyes, brandishing a gun. The little girl fell from the windowsill and began to run. She ran to that light. When she got to the neighbor's house, she began to bang on that door in terror. They opened the door and they called the sheriff. When he arrived, he took her, but he took her back to that house. As they drove up that driveway, chills ran down her spine as the scene came into view. It was her mother and her father. They stood on the porch, her father with a gun to her mother's temple. The police turn and the sheriff says, "Yeah, you gotta get out this car." Her mother then, pleading for her daughter's life and safety, asked for him to take her. Hesitantly, he did. He backed down that driveway, turned onto that dirt road, and at the tree line stood two armed men, shotguns pointed toward the man on the porch, her father. The sheriff rolled down the window and said, "This one, young?" The man just happened to be her Uncle Ben, and he said, "Yep, please take her on down to the family house." When she got there, they hid her in the attic. A little while later, Uncle Ben and her mom, they came and got her out of the attic. Good morning, students of Ben Hill. I want to thank you for having me. And I'm bringing you a story about a little girl that faced a whole lot of obstacles. And she was about your age when she jumped out that window. That little girl, guess what happened to her? Any ideas?
She died?
No.
She lived a normal life?
She did. But guess what? That little girl is me. I'm the little girl that jumped out that window that night. I'm the little girl that had to run to that light. That night was just the beginning. It didn't end there. I took journeys and went to places that I definitely don't recommend. I went to the aisle of drugs and alcohol. I went there to deaden the pain because that light, it still shines in my brain. Then I took a real trip then, one that changed my life forever. I went to the land of teenage pregnancy. There, what I was seeking was love. Love for myself and love from someone, because I didn't believe that I was loved. And there, it didn't stop there, because I sure enough went to the resort of depression, and then I ended up at my all-time favorite. You guys aren't going to know who this lady is, but I'm going to let you know she was a diva in her day. Her name is Elizabeth Taylor. She somewhat reminds you of a J-Lo of today or something like that. Both of those women have had several marriages, and so have I. Several. I tell you that, not proud, but I tell you, because, you know, Liz, I have to admire her a little bit. She got married for the long green. But I married for the deferred dream. Soon thereafter, I ran away from home. Yep, I ran away from home. I only went a couple doors down. Nonetheless, I ran away from home. I ran to a family of 10, and they accepted me in with open arms. There were 8 kids and mom and dad. There I learned to love again and how a family could be, despite we were piled on top of each other. But it was a family. And at that point in my life, I realized I had to make a decision. I had to do something with myself. And that's when I went into the Army. The Army changed the trajectory of my life. It instilled and it gave me the pride and the discipline and the love and acceptance that I didn't feel that I got out here. The day before I made the commitment to the Constitution of the United States, I went down to visit my mom, who, mind you, I wasn't speaking to. So I totally understand at your age when your parents get on your nerves, because I'm sure I get on my son's nerves. I understand it totally. So I wasn't even speaking to my mother. I went 2 doors down and to say goodbye. My mother hugged me in that same sentence that she said to me that night that she put me in that window and told me to run. She had held me and she said, "You can do this." And she whispered one more time, "You can do this." So then I went and committed myself to the Army. One of the proudest times of my life, for those that you saw me here as a veteran on Veterans Day, and thanks again for honoring us. Well, after I got out of the Army, you know, I've had jobs and did different things, and I come here today as an aspiring public speaker to tell you that no matter what obstacle you face, I know all of you in here don't live a perfect life. And sometimes you don't even want to be here. Sometimes there's a bully. Sometimes it's your parents. Sometimes it's your siblings. Sometimes it's the social group that you're in. And I totally understand that. But the key is knowing who you are, believing, and ultimately loving yourself. So when I tell you this, I tell you this because there are 3 places that I want you to go. I don't want you to go to those islands in the resorts that I went to earlier in my life. I want you to go great places and good things. Because I want you to do me a favor. I want you to look around the classroom. Really quick. Look around at everybody. Do you see anybody who looks like you? Anybody in here looks like you?
Yeah.
I don't. The only commonality that each one of you have, in my opinion, is that if I cut you, you're going to bleed. That's it. That is it. Each one of you were created uniquely. You're all special. You all have something to give. You all have something to share. And that's the piece I was missing. And most importantly, I didn't even love myself. And some of you don't love yourselves either. That's why we make bad decisions. That's why we don't do our homework. That's why we succumb to peer pressure. That's why we try to fit in. You don't have to fit in. Be who you are. Because you're special. You're different. You're different than me. I admire that. You're different than me. I admire that. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to drop it like it's hot and do all of that. You can be who you are. If that's who you are, fine. I am a nerd. I am a Trekkie. I love life. And I'm going to express that everywhere I go. I'm not going to allow anyone to tell me who I am, what I can do, and what I will do. So in saying that, those are the 3 roads I want you to be on. Every time you doubt yourself, every time. Every one time someone tells you you're not who you say you are, this is the road I want you to take a detour on. The first road is the road of I am. Because you define yourself. You decide who you are. You determine where you go. But you have to know who you are. And you have to believe in who you are. So always tell yourself 2 simple words. I am. I am. I am anything I say I am. I'm a firefighter if I choose to be. I'm a runner if I choose to be. I'm the next president if I choose to be. I am anything that I choose to be, even right now. The second road I want you to get on is the road of I can. Guess what? Because you're so special and because you're so unique and because you were created for a purpose, you can achieve any and everything you put your mind to. Every and anything. Every and anything. But you have to believe that. I believe it in you, and I don't even know none of you except for one in here. I believe it in you because I know. I know where you are right now. And I know what it feels like. I haven't forgotten. So I know you can. And the third one, in science you know that an object in motion stays in motion. So that's your will. In my day we would say word is bond, meaning what I say I'm going to do. So if I tell you I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be there to support you. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to be there to do it for you. So your will, you can't say I'm going to be something and I can be something without some form of action. It takes work. We don't like it. I don't like working. No, I don't. And I don't like getting up in the morning going for a 5-mile run to stay in shape. I don't like having to stay up late or to do different things that make me uncomfortable. But I do them because I know that the action is going to achieve the results so I can reach my goals. So the next time that you doubt yourself, the next time you don't know what road to get on, the next time someone's telling you what you can and cannot do in the aspect of who you are as a person, always remember, take that detour. Detour on the roads of I am, I can, and I will. And I'll see you all at that shining star